Hey there, beautiful people. My name is Yami, and Season of the Chosen is here. And so far, it seems pretty good. But let's go ahead and talk about it. Last season, Bungie ran into a bit of a problem with their newest expansion. Or should I say several problems, most of which pertain to the season specifically rather than the expansion, but nonetheless, this seemed to strike a nerve with people. These problems on their own wouldn't have caused that much of an issue, but when stacked together, they really started to highlight discontent in the community, topics such as sunsetting, trials, a lack of new loot, little to zero focus on PvP, stasis balancing, you get the idea. Morale has been rather low recently. But the new season seems to be leaving a rather solid first impression on players, or at least for as long as Reddit can be satisfied. So let's talk about what we actually got this season. Starting off, we have the brand new Battlegrounds activity, which is essentially Cabal Arena combat. Pretty simple in its execution, but high enemy density and solid rewards make it fun to replay. Trials of Osiris got a brand new vendor refresh with new armor, cosmetics, weapons, and adept variants of said weapons. The playlist itself is exactly the same as it's been, but hopefully that gets touched on in the future. There are over 30 new weapons and 10 or so reissued ones, depending on if you count the adept versions of those weapons. There's a large pool of new perks that are honestly pretty solid. Things like Frenzy, Lasting Impression, Impulse Amplifier, and Bottomless Grief. I'm really excited to see what I can do with these later in the season. We have 3 new strikes, 2 of which are reprisals, but one is completely new, coming later in the season, with Nightfall exclusive weapons and adept variants to boot. Pretty happy with that, especially if we get new strikes throughout the rest of the year. There's new exotic weapons and armor, brand new pseudo-social space, and the Helm, which is looking to be a fantastic storytelling device. Umbral Ingrams are back, but not quite raining on you like they used to, so they feel a bit more special. I had so many last time that I kinda hated all of them. Then of course we have Iron Banner, Guardian Games, new season rewards, the usual stuff you'd expect. And that's a basic overview of everything we've gotten so far or know that we're getting. Now, how do I feel about it? How is the game doing? Is it looking up? Well, I think so. Overall, I'm really happy with the changes that Bungie has made this season. It's not perfect, it's more of a band-aid fix than anything. The core issues aren't being solved, but I think it's a step in the right direction. I'm really happy that we have 6 new weapons added to the playlists, 2 for each. There are 2 new random drop Vanguard weapons, Gambit, and Crucible ones. They have a very large perk pool with pretty much all the perks you would want in the game. I have heard complaints that it sucks how low their drop chance is because they have so many perks, but overall, I'm happy with that. I feel like that's something that they can easily fix if it needs to be, and I think it's the right move. It was the right call. I'm really happy about the new Vanguard weapons, the Palindrome, Shadow Price, and Swarm. It's both cool and also a little sucky that it's from D1. I mean, I'm glad that they're there. I'm glad that they're here with like new perks and stuff in D2, so I guess it's perfectly fine. It gives me something to farm. I've had a lot of fun running the Nightfall this week. I have run Devil's Lair a lot. I've only gotten like 1 Shadow Price, but it was just fun. It's a good strike, enemies everywhere, music kicks ass at the boss, and I don't mind running it even if I don't get a gun at the end. Now, I haven't really gotten many drops from the Crucible playlist. I've gotten like, I think I got the sidearm, and Gambit I got 1 bottom dollar. I haven't gotten the fusion rifle, I haven't gotten the sniper rifle from Crucible, I haven't gotten the rocket launcher from Strikes, I have gotten the pulse rifle though. I'm just glad there's stuff to farm for. The new weapons that go along with the, what's it called? The Hammer of Proving, I think it's called. That whole thing and all like the kind of redone Leviathan style weapons, like they're kind of all in the style of Sins of the Past, and there's like a straight up Sins of the Past like reskin, which I'm perfectly okay with. Leviathan weapons looked great, these look even better, they're really good. I've heard the sidearm brass attacks is great, the sniper rifle, I think it's called Far Future, I'd have to double check, is really solid if you can get a god roll for Crucible. The rocket launcher is great. I love the lasting impression perk. That is a really fun perk to play around with. Another thing that I'm really impressed with, both in this season and the Season of the Hunt, is the way that Bungie is doing storytelling. The storytelling in both Beyond Light, Season of the Hunt, and Season of the Chosen so far has been really good. I love the way that things feel far more interconnected. You know, you see that cutscene with Empress Keitel, and Zavala, and then Osiris is there acting as his advisor, and then everything transfers over the helm, and you see threads of last season's story with Crow and Osiris and Spider and those bonds that they formed start to come together. Like, it's amounting to something for once, which normally in the past in Destiny stories, a lot of the times they were just kind of one-off threats, and they might eventually come back around, and stuff might happen with them, but more often than not, it would just kind of be done for a year or two, and that's not the case here at all. You know, we're getting cutscenes both at the start of the season and at the end. We're getting lore books, there's blog posts, there's a lot here. And it's way better than anything they've done in the past. It could use a little bit of work, but I don't have many complaints at all. The helm is a great space. I love it. It feels immersive, right? It doesn't feel like just some kind of thrown together hub because why not? You know, this feels like the staging ground. I was really happy when I started the season and I saw that shot of like Zavala as the hologram on the table, and then later Crow and Osiris transmatted in, and then even Saladin was talking to you at one point. Everything felt cohesive. It was really good. It felt like when I played through story in a game like Final Fantasy XIV, you know? It felt like I had a lot more depth. There's a lot more going on. And I can't wait to see what they do going forward. I think Season of the Rivals was probably one of my favorite season stories, period. Dawn was cool, you know, saving Saint 14, but I really didn't care for the Enotep, like the freaking Scion sisters or whatever, siblings, and like the whole Almighty crashing. The Almighty crashing was cool, but it really didn't feel like it went together with anything, you know? But ever since Arrivals and the Pyramid showed up in the system, it feels like we're finally going somewhere. Now onto the topic of sunsetting. I really think this new influx of weapons is... It's helping with sunsetting. It's helping and not sting as much for a lot of people. I personally don't mind sunsetting that much at all if it's implemented properly. Destiny 1 did it with Taken King. I want to play with new stuff, but I completely understand why other people don't like it. I understand why it sucks that now you just can't use certain weapons in high-level activities. It's a really tricky topic, you know, because on the one hand, it kind of feels necessary, the type of game Destiny is, to, like, keep going forward. You can keep the meta changing, you can keep updating Destiny 2 without, you know, just completely drowning the loot pool, but I don't know, it doesn't feel like there's a right answer, or, you know, Bungie's kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't. They can't go back on it, right? People have already deleted roles, but, you know, if they keep going forward without making some sort of change, people aren't gonna be happy. The execution of it was very poor, at least at Beyond Light's launch. Hopefully, we're heading in the right direction. They might loosen up some of the rules for things like 7th Seraph weapons with Warmind cells. Maybe they'll make like a new mod where any weapon can do it. I don't know. Overall, though, I am really happy with the new season. It doesn't feel... It doesn't feel like there's nothing there, you know? It feels like I have stuff to do. I'm excited to do new things. I have a lot to look forward to. I'm excited to see what they do in the future. Really hoping we get an Iron Banner refresh of armor sometime soon. I'm sick of getting the reissued armor every season. Like, we haven't got our new Iron Banner armor set since Shadowkeep. And when they do bring a new set back, please, for the love of God, go back to the Knights medieval theme. I just want that back. You know, a lot of the armor sets were cool, but they kind of started to get a bit more lackluster after Forsaken. But yeah, I think it's good. It's more Destiny, which is always a good thing, but as Dado said recently, more Destiny isn't enough anymore. And I completely agree with that. But I think that'll be enough rambling for me for one day. I have big plans for some future videos, but I also wanted to get out a quick first impression on the new content. I would love to know what you all are enjoying about the season and what you would like to see from Bungie in the future. So feel free to leave a like, comment, subscribe, whatever you feel like doing. And with that being said, have a wonderful day, and I will see you lovely people next time.